Hey everyone, it's Kevin again with just a couple of minute bonus episode following my interview with Dan Schawbel. I just hung up with him, and this is just totally stream of consciousness. First of all, if anyone's interested in personal branding, building a thought leadership brand, you've got to study and follow Dan. Now, he's a relatively young man. I don't know his exact age, but like from a very young age, he started reaching out and interviewing authors and other leaders. And then he had for almost 10 years on Forbes, he would put out these notes, these interviews. And I think a lot of them were probably done via email, so that they were done very efficiently. And he had systems for that. And this is, a great strategy. It's one Dory Clark has talked about on our show of if you want to build a brand yourself, go interview people who are in that spot that you would like to be someday. Because what's going to happen is, first of all, you're going to learn from them. You're going to get the halo effect in terms of the brand. Their brand will wear off on you. You're going to get associated with those more famous people or successful people in your industry. And most importantly, perhaps, you're now on their radar. They kind of owe you a favor. You'll put up your article or your podcast or your whatever it is, and then they will notify their network. And there's no one trick. In fact, I have actually found that when, I loved having Dan Pink on the show, but he didn't tell his audience about the podcast. So I got zero benefit back, in terms of audience building. And yet there will be other people who are not a known name in business who, post and repost, for years, an interview I did with them. And so it's just being consistent and playing that numbers game. And Dan has done that really, really well. Now, he said some interesting things. First of all, I jotted a note when he said that, millennials view their manager at work as their work parent. And I hadn't heard that before, that kind of phrase. And I don't know if it's true or not. And I'm not sure that that's healthy. I'm not sure I want to be somebody's parent at work, but I thought that was interesting. He also talked about bringing your whole self to work. And I don't know about you, but I'm seeing this phrase, I'm seeing this kind of percolating up more and more where people are saying, oh, you need to embrace the whole self. You need to support everybody's whole self. I think it might have started as a lot of things, maybe California, Silicon Valley. And it's why all of a sudden, companies are paying for people to go and meditate or learn mindfulness or take yoga or whatever it is as a way to kind of just, de-stress a little bit, be more mindful and present. That's certainly not a normal work thing to train, quote unquote, train somebody in, but they're doing that. I've heard of another company where, they're giving money and time to employees not just to go back for their MBA or a work-related thing. That's been the classic thing. Are you getting education that's work-related? Now they're letting them take, pottery classes and how to be a cook and all that, trying to keep them happy. Again, I'm not so sure that I support the whole self movement. I think there's other ways that people are engaged and maybe more primary ways, of course, growth, recognition, and trust on the job. I want to go to work and I want to work with great people on an interesting problem and make a difference, and sure, if the company's going to throw money at me to go learn how to be a novelist, hey, that's nice. I'll take the money, but I don't know if that's going to change my engagement at work or make me pick one company over the other. Dan talked about the research he did with Virgin Pulse. And of course, the big finding that they've got as it's kind of their marketing bullet is that over 2,000 managers and employees find that a third of employees work remotely, but remote workers are much less likely to stay at their company long term. Now, here I think I'm a little skeptical of this. I think there's is it correlation or causation? So I get it. Maybe remote workers are less connected to the company and therefore they're less likely to stay. I get that could be. It also might be that remote workers tend to be those who are in tech professions and younger workers and all of that, doing programming jobs or creatives, writers, all that. And I'm wondering if it's just that, if you also looked at the people who are working remotely, are they younger and more mobile and able to take risks and things like that than older workers who are maybe more likely to be in, the offices? And I don't have data on that, but I just think there's so many demographic factors that could play into who's choosing to work remotely, that those demographic factors might be the real reason or additional reasons why they're not sticking around. But Dan's advice is good. I mean, how do we foster connection when we are remote? Here at LEADx, I mean, my CTO, like critical partner in the business, he's in California. I'm in Philadelphia. How do we make sure that we are building that social connection and trying to be mindful of not just sending each other messages about work, but like, hey, read a good book lately, or just see that movie, or what do you think about this idea, or did you see this news headline? Just trying to build that relationship intentionally. On the day that I interviewed Dan here, Facebook announced the Facebook Portal, which is their video conferencing system, and it runs on Amazon Alexa. So you can do all your Alexa stuff, but you can also talk to your friends and family members through this video. And it's a little bit supposedly better than what we've got now because, of course, it's like that's its purpose. So it's easy to just set up a video chat. But supposedly the camera will follow you around. So if I'm cooking and talking to you and I'm in the kitchen, it kind of follows me and knows where my face is and zooms in and just makes it really easy. And I don't know, this could be the dumbest technology ever, or it could be one of those things where just because it's like grandma proof, no offense to grandmas, maybe it's great grandma proof, where people who are not that technically savvy can now just say, call Amanda, call Natalie, call Owen. Those are my 3 kids. And then you don't even touch it. You say that out loud. All of a sudden, if my kids pick up, that's a big if, all of a sudden I see their face and I'm cooking dinner or whatever, and they're in their dorm room or whatever they're doing, and we're chatting. And if it's that easy, that will increase that adoption. And now let's bring that into the workplace. And I wonder, look, Lucas and I are tech people. We use Skype, we use Google Hangout, we use Zoom, like we can do all that, but you got to pull the browser up, you got to log in, you got to send the link, whatever it is. What if always on our desk were these video devices that were always on? What if all of us worked remotely in our own homes, but we looked at the device and we could see each other in our own home offices? And of course, there's privacy. You can shut it off, mute it, turn the camera off, whatever it is. But would that start to help us to feel connected throughout the day the way people who go into the office go into? Anyway, I don't know, but these were just random thoughts with all these bonus episodes. I hope you just skip them if you hate them. And let me know what you think. Send me an email. I'm at kevin@leadx.org. And say, hey, yeah, keep doing these bonus episodes. They're kind of cool. Or, God, I'm having to skip over these bonus episodes. You're clogging up my iTunes. Stop it, dude. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Talk to you later.